Good evening, everybody. We are recording tonight's event, so just let me cue up here.
Maybe the lights will work.
Okay. And we can clap to cue everything up. So welcome to tonight's event. I appreciate you all being here. My name is Ryan Gaska. I've been at Elliott's for 15 years, and I've heard a lot of stories, and I've gone to a lot of trainings, and I've amassed quite a bit of information on some various topics, and we're doing a series of classes called MasterClasses. Tonight is the third in a series of 6 on mastering cleansing. Okay? Is this anybody's first class in this series? Yes? So about half of you have seen it before, and the other half are new to the classes. That's great. We're seeing new faces at each class, and I think that's awesome. I'm going to go through the kind of the definition of cleansing and how one can cleanse, the various modalities, and I will have time at the end for specific questions. So if you have questions, let's wait to the end and I'll address them then. Sound good? Great. So again, I want to start with what are toxins, not token. Okay, we left this in for a little fun, but what are toxins, right? They're poisons or any substance that doesn't serve health, can actually undermine health in the body, okay? Now, we are exposed to toxins naturally, through natural processes in the body. Oxidation is one of the main ones. This is a natural process that happens at the cellular level when the cell, through respiration, burns up oxygen and sugar, and it produces free radicals. This is a natural process, right? But it's a toxin that our body has to deal with. And there are other toxins that we are exposed to through our food source that aren't so natural, right? Like pesticides, fertilizers, genetically modified products, right? And a host of other things. We could list off what those are. It's a long list. Now, again, our body is able to handle these toxins to a certain degree. We have lots of systems in the body. I'm going to turn this so you folks can actually see this a little bit too. We have lots of systems in the body that are there in place to handle these toxins. There's actually 7 of them, by the way. It includes the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, blood, lymph, skin. Did I get them all? And colon. There's 7 of them, and they all are working all the time, around the clock, to do this task of removing toxins from the body so they don't poison us and cause disease and undermine health, right? Now, the problem though arises if we get impacted with toxins, we get too many of them, and combine that with poor diets, stress, lack of rest and recovery, and our systems are overwhelmed with toxins and they can't keep up. Low grade over time, these can arise in various chronic diseases down the road, okay? So cleansing is prophylactic, it is preventative. We do a little bit now and hopefully every day or every season, so that down the road we don't run into bigger problems. Does that make sense? Okay. So, but there's also an immediate benefit you get from cleansing too. Let me talk about the immediate benefits, but what are the signs that we have that we get from our body that we need to cleanse? Sluggish weight loss is one. It's a big one. Chronic fatigue, and I don't mean the classic disease chronic fatigue. I mean that kind of daily, persistent, no matter how much rest I get, I just am always tired and I'm always reaching for stimulants, coffee, sugar, right? That kind of fatigue. Bloating and constipation. No matter what I eat, I feel like there's a rock sitting there and it doesn't go away. And maybe I'm not very regular either. You should be going every single day. Okay? Brain fog. I can't remember as well as I used to, or I just can't concentrate, especially when I'm overwhelmed. Sleep disturbances. Who here has ever had a series of nights where they woke up around 1 to 3 o'clock in the evening, right? That is, has everybody heard that this is the liver hour? That's the liver time of the night where the liver is doing a lot of work, and if it's sluggish and impacted, you're gonna wake up, okay? Skin problems. Remember I said skin is an organ of detoxification, right? So if you are, impacted with toxins, it could come out in your skin. Depressed immune system. The lymph is another organ of detoxification. The lymph is your immune system. And if you're always getting sick, you get that seasonal flu, but it hangs on really long, and every year it's a little longer. You get sick 2 or 3 times a season. That might be a sign that you need to cleanse. And hormone imbalances. This one may not be obvious to many people, that hormone imbalances are related to toxic overload, and that you can actually balance hormones or help your body balance hormones by regular cleansing. Okay? And I'll get into how that works later on. But these are the signs that you may be the perfect candidate for a cleanse, right? So, how does one go about cleansing? There's a lot of modalities to cleansing. There's kind of a short list here, but you may have heard some other ones that I'm not even including here. And it always seems to be a new cleanse every year, or a new cleanse every time there's a new doctor or guru on the scene, and they've got a cleanse for you, right? And it can be very overwhelming, sometimes confusing, which one's good, which one's bad. Sometimes you hear that certain cleanses are bad for you, and yet they're being promoted as healthy. So, what gives? I'm going to try to go through some fundamentals of cleansing that really are grounded in how the body is naturally designed to cleanse every single day. So these kind of fundamentals, these cleansing practices are, in my mind at least, what works with your own body, okay? With the wisdom of your body's own ability to heal itself. If you were at my first class, I mentioned the principle of removing toxins or impactions or blockages and giving your body all the nutrients it needs and addressing any deficiencies as the pillar for health, right? If you do those two things, your body's own ability to heal itself will come into action and do most of the work, right? So cleansing kind of plays that fundamental role in removing impactions, removing the blockages, okay? So how do we do it? Well, again, I really want to emphasize that it's a normal everyday process, right? So you don't have to really labor over it or think too much about it. Your body is doing it as you sit right here, okay? Now, but we do sometimes need help, and some of these things can come into play. One of the first ones here are herbal supplements. Now, we have a lot of those, right? And there's some king herbs in that category that play a role in each of those 7 systems of detox. And I'll just briefly kind of cover some of those as my favorite kind of premier herbs for each of those organs. Now, the biggest, the most detoxifying organ in the body is the lungs, right? Every single moment you're breathing in fresh air and you're expelling carbon dioxide, which is a toxin. So your lungs are constantly detoxing all day long, okay? The premier herb for the lungs is Osha. Osha helps loosen mucus, to help expel it out of the lungs so that you can breathe in more oxygen. It helps draw more blood to the lungs so that your body can pull those nutrients, pull the oxygen out of the lungs into the bloodstream. Oxygen is very, very powerful to support cellular respiration and energy and all the processes of the body. So OSHA is great for supporting lung health and regular cleansing and care of the lungs, especially if you're getting exposed to smoke throughout the day, or you work in an environment where you're breathing in things. OSHA's king. Milk.
OSHA, what is that?
OSHA root. So OSHA is a plant. It grows actually here in Northern California.
Spell that.
OSHA.
Okay.
So like I said, occupation.
Yeah.
It's not that. No, it's an herb.
Is that what they make marshmallow out of?
No, they do not. They make marshmallow, gelatin, and sugar. But there is a root called marshmallow,
That's what I was
and
thinking.
we can maybe talk a little bit later about that. How about for the liver? Anybody know any good herbs for the liver? Dandelion, great. Milk thistle is one of the premier herbs of the liver, right? Supports phase 1 detoxification, which is the primary, most important detoxification phase of the liver, phase 1. That's where if you are exposed to a death cap mushroom, you go to the hospital, the doctor's going to inject you with similarin, which is an extract from milk thistle. It's one of the best liver protectants that we have in the store. Now, dandelion we mentioned. Dandelion is actually really good for the kidneys too, especially the leaves. Dandelion leaves are really good for the kidneys. And red clover, great herb for the blood. It's a great blood cleanser, really great for women that are trying to conceive. Red clover is a premier blood cleansing herb. To reference your story. Now, aloe for the colon, soothes, seals and heals the colon. We don't want harsh stimulants in the colon. Sometimes we need them. Sometimes we need a little help to get things moving. But a great herb is aloe for just general colon health, soothing, sealing, and healing. Aloe. And what's good for the skin internally is burdock root. Great skin cleansing herb. Beauty from the inside. Now we actually have a class coming up next month on mastering skin health. So I'm going to go a lot further about the skin health topic then. Now, and finally, for the lymphatic system, pau d'arco. Pau d'arco is a great herb from South America. It cleanses parasites and funguses. Pau d'arco, P-A-U, D-A-R-C-O. And actually, all my notes, I can send these as an email attachment to anybody that's interested. Make sure you tell someone on the way out. We put a little check by your name, and we'll make sure you get the email, okay? Now, okay, herbal supplements. There's a lot of herbs out there. We can go even further, but I just want to give you kind of a starter pack of what are the premier herbs for each of those 7 organs. Now, probiotics. Everybody's heard of probiotics, right? It's one of the #1 categories in the store, that and CBD. We got so many probiotics, and everybody now knows the benefits of probiotics. But how much you take, especially for daily cleansing. You want 15 billion colony-forming units, CFUs, of probiotics every day for general health. That's going to help support good bacteria in your gut that work day and night for many things, in addition to helping the colon clear out toxins, okay? Probiotics every single day. Along with that, your prebiotics, another name for fiber. Fiber goes in and also provides bulk for movement, but it feeds the good bacteria as well. You want about 30 grams of fiber a day, and a good combination of soluble and insoluble. That means you want fibers not just from grains, but you want it from fruits and vegetables, and you want it from gums and seeds, and you don't want just psyllium husk. You want a blend of different fibers, okay? Now, antioxidants, and I say /glutathione. A lot of antioxidants in the store, vitamin C, vitamin E, these are premier antioxidants. We all have heard of those, but there's one that's even greater than them all, and that's glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant. Your body needs it so much that it's able to produce it on its own. And what's more is glutathione not only is an antioxidant, right? It protects each cell from that oxidative stress that it gets bombarded with through respiration, right? Normal cellular respiration. It's bombarded with oxygen. It protects it from protects the DNA from damage so that it doesn't mutate and cause potentially much more life-threatening diseases down the road, like cancer. It also is a transporting amino acid to remove toxins from the body, right? It kind of attaches to those toxins. It helps chaperone them out of the body so it doesn't do any more damage. And lastly, glutathione is a nitric oxide supporting amino. Nitric oxide, if you don't know, it's this molecule that dilates the blood vessels, provides more blood flow, better blood flow, and that blood flow is going to help circulate and remove those toxins away from the tissue. So it's working on many different levels to support that detoxification system. You can supplement with glutathione and also foods that are antioxidant rich support the body's ability to make glutathione too. Things like astaxanthin or resveratrol. These are high antioxidant pigments that go into your body. Wine, great source of resveratrol, helps the body support the body to make more glutathione. Okay? Now, what else do I have? Water. Oh my gosh. The solution to pollution is dilution. I'm going to repeat that. The solution to pollution is dilution. You want to drink water to dilute toxins and allow the water to carry them out of the body. You want to drink, I've seen lots of formulas out there about like 1 ounce per kilogram of body weight. What I really just recommend is drink when you're thirsty and really drink often, okay? I don't think that we need to carry around a water bottle everywhere we go, okay? I've heard of people, you know, they're like complain, I'm going to the bathroom every 15 minutes, but I'm drinking a gallon of water every single day. I don't know whether you can go that far, but drink good quality water. I was just talking to the gentleman before the talk. We've got the reverse osmosis water here. That is a very high quality purified water. Good bottled waters. I love the Hawaiian Springs water, or any spring water for that matter. But you want to drink, especially when you're going through a cleanse, drinking lots of water helps the body get rid of those toxins in the kidneys.
I just want to say, when I get cold, my skin gets cold, gets rid of water.
Gets rid of water.
Yeah.
When you get cold,
Even a little bit, yeah.
interesting. Not quite sure about that one. Could be a stress thing. When he gets cold, he gets rid of water. I mean, you have to urinate, right?
But that's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works.
That's called inspection.
Yeah, it's a survival thing.
Yes, it is.
I know stress, though, will cause you to get rid of water, dump water, and maybe just the cold somehow is a stressor on the body. Anyhow, movement. Now, the lymphatic system does not have any pump for it like the blood does. There's no heart in the lymphatic system, so the only way we can move the lymph around is through movement. That and massage. So it's important to move around. Our bodies are not designed to be sitting or even for that matter standing in one place very long. We've got to be moving around, especially during our waking hours. Excuse me. So getting regular movement. Now a lot of people ask, do I exercise when I'm on a cleanse? Depends on what kind of cleanse you're on. You shouldn't ever force yourself to exercise if your energy levels just really aren't there. Exercise actually is a stress in the body. It's a good stress, but it's a stress. And if you're cleansing, if you're doing a very aggressive cleanse, and I can talk about some of those more aggressive cleanses, like if you were doing a fast of water only for 3 or 4 days, you may not really want to work out vigorously, but you probably should still go for a walk, right? Or rebound. Everybody knows what those rebounders are. Fantastic for lymph circulation. So listen to your body. Sauna. Now, sauna doesn't detox necessarily meaning toxins through the skin in the sweat itself. That's not exactly how saunas help detoxify. Saunas actually produce something called heat shock proteins. Heat shock proteins, HSP, okay? These heat shock proteins assist the body in upregulating something called autophagy. Autophagy is this practice in the body where the cells that are dead, diseased, don't belong, get broken down and recyclated or removed out of the body. All of our cells get replaced. I've heard some number where after so many days or weeks, you've got almost an entirely new body. Every cell has been replaced over that period of time. That's autophagy, okay? Things like sauna and cleansing generally, and sauna specifically, exercise, if you're doing hot yoga, produce those HSPs in the body that help upregulate the body's ability to autophagize old cells, right? So, powerful, powerful detoxifying practice. Aromatherapy. Everybody here know what essential oils are? Yes? Okay. They're things like frankincense and myrrh. These are classic essential oils that we even talked about in the Bible. They help upregulate the immune function of the body for detoxification and protection from colds and flus. Simple diffuser in the home with some essential oils running throughout the cold and flu seasons, a great way to support protection and health. Frankincense is also an antidepressant. Haven't heard that one. Awesome. I'm still learning after 15 years. Deep breathing. Remember I said the lungs are constantly detoxing every moment. Deep breathing helps support that, right? There's lots of YouTube videos of various deep breathing practices. So go have fun with that. But when you're cleansing, it might be good to do a little deep breathing exercise first thing in the morning to help oxygenate the body and help clear out toxins. And finally, sleep. Who would have thought how powerful sleep can be to support the body to detox and rejuvenate? So whenever you are asleep, all those organs that were working throughout the day to move your body around and digest food and help support brain function, all that, they are able to take a rest and focus on cleansing. You know, your colon, your liver, and your lymphatic system, they're all going into these deeper cleansing modes while you sleep. So you got to give your body that chance to sleep, especially when you're going through a cleanse. That's a great time to get a few extra hours every night if you can, or take that nap in the afternoon. I love my Sunday afternoon naps. So just make sure that I'm hitting all the notes. Now, I want to talk a little bit about side effects when you're cleansing. You know, I've heard lots of stories from customers that come in of their cleansing crisis. You know, some common ones are like headache, right? Or irritability, or digestive changes. They don't, you know, the cleansing herb that they're using is making them feel weird or funny. What I am here to tell you though is cleansing doesn't have to be a crisis for you. It doesn't have to be. I recommend that everyone goes slow, no matter if you're a beginner or an expert cleanser. Always listen to your body. It shouldn't be arduous. It should be something that you look forward to. I always look forward to cleansing. You know, yes, it's a time where we're going to take some sacrifices. We're not going to be able to eat whatever we want, and we're being more diligent and disciplined. But at the end, you're going to feel, and I'm going to go for the benefits of cleansing. You're going to feel, I always feel more energized. My brain is sharper than ever before. I'm sleeping really good. And a host of other things like the life extension benefits and all the immune supporting benefits of cleansing. So, you know, keep that in mind. We want to be able to enjoy the process to some degree and look forward to our cleansing. Now, if you are experiencing some side effects, there are some things you can do. Of course, you should cut back whatever cleansing you're doing, whether it's a herbal cleanse or some of these practices here. Cut it back. You know, take a few days off, then come back to it. Do smaller cleanses more often, especially if you're new or if you have a lot of toxins. Maybe you've been sick a lot or been exposed to something or just taken a round of antibiotics or medication, and you're thinking, wow, I really need to cleanse. Don't go hog wild. Just start with something small and do it often. You're gonna get much better results that way, and it's gonna be much more enjoyable. But again, I want to emphasize drinking lots of water, making sure you're getting the fiber to help trap those toxins and get them out of the body. If you need a little something to support mobility, bowel mobility, and extra cleansing to help get those toxins out, there are teas that can help with that, laxative teas, and I do encourage the use of those if you're getting a lot of cleansing side effects. Help get those toxins out. But again, let me just go one more time through the health benefits of detoxification, right? Some of them are really obvious, like increased energy, maybe you will lose a little bit of weight, or maybe you use it to start a weight loss program, okay? Brain health and brain function. There's actually it's called BDNF, brain-derived neurogenic factor. When you are cleansing, even if it's a very short cleanse, I'm going to define what that factor is here in this moment. When you do those short little fasts, it increases that brain-derived neurogenic factor that actually turns on brain cell creation. Now, I remember in school being told that once you kill a brain cell, it never comes back. Well, we just have recently discovered that's not true. So we got to turn on those genes and upregulate these different hormones that can actually regenerate things like brain tissue. And this is really powerful for diseases like Alzheimer's, which there are no known cures yet for. Okay, so anything we can do now to help protect our brain is going to pay dividends down the road, right? Improved body odor and breath. When we cleanse, we get rid of that yeast in the body, which produce that body odor and breath, and we find that we don't stink so much after cleansing. Actually, I find that when I'm cleansing, I tend to be a little stinkier, but then once I'm done cleansing, I tend to be a lot less, right? Because I've cleaned out those toxins, yeast in particular, that produce some of that odor. Craving reduction. Sugar cravings that happen for us, especially in the afternoon when we're stressed out, a little cleanse can help break that cycle that we get into to help start a new diet, a new habit, and kind of reduce those cravings and get us off that sugar wagon. And then finally, I would say just the most important part of cleansing is the life extension property of it, right? Again, when we cleanse, we're upregulating things like growth hormone that help build muscle mass and burn fat. I mean, these are longevity genes that we're turning on, disease genes that we're turning off. So cleansing is really important for the life extending properties of it. And finally, I just want to touch on the idea of cleansing should be in one hand, a daily practice for us. We should be doing things every single day that support our body's ability to cleanse and detox, but it should also be something we do in a more serious way every season, and especially now. We're on the verge of spring, right? And this is the perfect time of year to cleanse, to get ready to spring and summer, and start maybe a new path, a new practice that you've been putting off for a long time, right? Maybe you thought you were going to start it on New Year's, and here we are 3 months later, and you still haven't got quite to it. I want to touch a little bit on a very popular cleansing practice or diet, I guess it's called, that I get a lot of questions about right now, and that's called intermittent fasting. Anybody here has heard about it? A lot of hands, right? It's all over YouTube, right? Everybody's doing intermittent fasting. People that have never been to a health food store know what intermittent fasting is, right? I want to talk a little bit about that because it's very attractive. It has a lot of promises about weight loss and energy and all this stuff. I want to talk about the whys and hows that's possible and how it works and how it needs to fit into the grander scheme of a cleansing habit in a daily way. Now, intermittent fasting is this idea of basically not eating for 16 hours and up to 20 hours every single day, right? And then for the remainder of that day, right, if you're doing a 16-hour fast, then the 8 hours that are left over, you would eat. So you're eating in this very condensed window. During that 16-hour fast, and the magic happens at 16 hours now, between that 16 and 20-hour window, you are turning on all of these anti-aging, longevity genes. You're increasing growth hormone. We all know how important that is. We are also keeping our insulin really low, and when our insulin is low, that means our fat burning is high, right? And that's good. Whether you need to lose weight or not, we want to be in a fat burning mode because that's where our body really thrives. That's where we feel best. We're not kind of on that roller coaster of when my next meal is, and I'm hungry and I'm angry. You know, when we are stable and our blood sugar is level, we feel great. We all know what that feels like. We all know what it doesn't feel like when we're crashing. Okay, so 16 hours, nothing, no calories whatsoever, just either coffee, tea, or water. That's all you can have. And then during the 8 hours, you can eat normally. You should still eat healthy, and what a lot of people are doing is combining the intermittent fasting with a low carb diet. This is very popular now, right? Keeping in line with that idea of keeping blood sugar low, and you're still eating enough calories to support all your activities. It's not a starvation diet. You're not cutting calories specifically or in particular. You're just eating them in a condensed window, right? So whether you're trying to gain weight or muscle for that matter, or lose weight, intermittent fasting could do both for you, right? Has anybody experimented with intermittent fasting? Yes, a couple people. And do you mind sharing what you thought about it?
It worked pretty well for me because I did it like after I woke up in the morning. I just didn't eat till the afternoon, so it wasn't such a shock to my body and to my mentality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fast.
And how'd you feel?
I felt great.
You felt great.
I felt good.
Would you recommend it? Now I find, and I want to hear about your story too, I find with women in particular, they tend to struggle sometimes a little bit more, and I find that there is some differences between men and women when they cleanse. Women tend to be more sensitive to the ebbs and flows of a cleanse because their bodies, because of that childbearing ability, they can be a little bit more sensitive, and I would just recommend that women listen to the body more when they're cleansing. And just because a guy can go 20 hours on intermittent fasting, that may not be for every person, and you got to listen to your body. How did you feel in your intermittent fasting?
I reached like a threshold where like I felt foggy brain for a while, and then you just push through that, and afterwards you feel a lot more clear-headed. And I wanted to go do things, but my body wouldn't let me, so there was no energy.
Okay.
So I either go take a nap or drink a bunch of water,